Blake Lively may be cooked. Yeah, you heard it right. Justin Baldoni may be on the verge of exposing one of the most calculated smear campaigns the industry has ever seen. A few days ago, his lawyer just said this.
Are you going to sue Blake Lively too?
Into oblivion, Megan. Wait till you see this lawsuit. It's not going to be just a lawsuit. It's going to be the kind of lawsuit that is full of evidence, admissions, documents, which prove exactly what she did and how she bullied her way through the process to take over the movie and used her PR people to try and destroy Justin.
What began as accusations of harassment and emotional distress has now spiraled into a legal battlefield filled with leaked text messages, behind-the-scenes footage, and shocking revelations. But this isn't just another Hollywood scandal. The drama here goes far deeper, with major players like Reynolds and Taylor Swift mysteriously silent, and insiders spilling tea that could change everything. Buckle up! This story is deep, and the truth might not be what you think, even getting to this point.
On what, could have been one of the most beautiful nights of my life career-wise, I literally was sent to the basement with all my friends and family for over an hour because I wasn't allowed to be seen. She didn't want me anywhere near her or the rest of the cast.
The allegations against Justin Baldoni didn't just make headlines, they detonated them, and apparently there's way more to it. Blake Lively, known for her radiant charm on and off the screen, claimed that her experience filming It Ends With Us was marred by repeated instances of harassment and emotional distress. Her lawsuit detailed alarming accusations, inappropriate conduct during intimate scenes, condescending remarks on set, and even instances where she allegedly felt unsafe working with Justin. It was a shocking claim, especially against someone like him, widely regarded as Hollywood's poster child for kindness and professionalism. But Blake didn't just stop there. She painted a picture of a toxic environment where her concerns were dismissed, and she was left feeling isolated and powerless. The lawsuit landed like a grenade in Hollywood's carefully curated PR world. Celebrities, fans, and industry insiders took to social media to voice their support or skepticism. And then came Justin's countersuit, an equally explosive response. His legal team described Blake's claims as fabrications, suggesting they were part of a calculated effort to discredit him. They alleged that Blake's lawsuit was motivated not by justice, but by personal and professional grievances. This wasn't just a case about two co-stars at odds. It was shaping up to be a battle for credibility, with careers and reputations hanging in the balance. In cases like these, evidence is everything, and Justin's team came prepared to fight fire with fire. Within days of Blake filing her lawsuit, Justin's legal team released what they claimed was damning proof of her inconsistencies. One key piece of evidence was a set of text messages exchanged between the two stars. These messages didn't just seem cordial, they were downright friendly. Blake had written about how much she valued Justin's creative input, even suggesting extra rehearsals for intense scenes. But the real shocker? Blake's detailed timeline of alleged incidents had some glaring holes. For instance, she described one incident that supposedly took place during a late-night shoot in March. Justin's team presented receipts, literally, proving that Blake was vacationing in the Bahamas with Reynolds at the time. Emails between Blake and the production team revealed another layer to the drama. Blake had expressed frustrations about the script, particularly scenes she felt diminished her character's role. According to insiders, these frustrations escalated when her creative suggestions were dismissed. Could this have been the spark that ignited the legal firestorm? Meanwhile, Justin's team wasn't pulling any punches. They hinted at more evidence to come, suggesting Blake's actions were part of a deliberate smear campaign. Hollywood thrives on loyalty, or so it seems. Yet, in this case, many of Blake's closest allies remained conspicuously silent. This wasn't just unusual, it was almost deafening. Ryan Reynolds, her famously supportive husband, who's known for his witty and timely social media posts, had nothing to say. Taylor Swift, a longtime friend and confidant, avoided even acknowledging the controversy. Then there were the cast and crew of It Ends With Us. Typically, when an actor faces such serious allegations, colleagues step up to corroborate or refute the claims. But here, radio silence. An anonymous production insider finally spoke out, giving an exclusive statement to an industry blog. Justin was always professional. If anything, Blake seemed to be the one creating tension on set. She clashed with directors and pushed for changes that didn't align with the film's vision. This revelation painted a different picture, one in which Blake's grievances might have been less about harassment and more about creative control. The lack of support from her inner circle only added to the speculation. Was Blake's lawsuit an act of genuine concern or a strategic move born out of frustration? As more details emerged, public focus shifted from the allegations themselves to the possible motives behind them. Blake's image had always been meticulously curated, the perfect blend of talent, elegance, and relatability. But court documents revealed a more complex narrative. During the production of It Ends With Us, Blake had reportedly pushed for significant changes to her character's arc. She wanted more screen time, deeper emotional scenes, and even some rewrites to align the story with her vision. When these requests were denied, sources claimed her demeanor changed. But here's where things get murky. Just weeks before filing her lawsuit, Blake was in talks with producers to secure an executive producer credit. When those negotiations fell through, some insiders believed it was the final straw. Leaked DMS between Blake and a trusted friend added fuel to the fire. In one, she vented about feeling overshadowed by Justin, calling the film his vanity project. Critics of Blake's lawsuit pointed out the timing. Filing the allegations during the film's promotional window guaranteed maximum impact. But was this a calculated move to regain control of the narrative or a desperate attempt to call out injustice? If the drama on social media wasn't enough, the courtroom proceedings brought jaw-dropping twists almost daily. One of the biggest came when Justin's lawyers unveiled raw behind-the-scenes footage from the set. The footage, presented without edits, showed Blake and Justin during a break between takes. Far from the tense atmosphere Blake described, the two appeared relaxed, laughing as they reviewed a scene. Another clip showed a heated discussion, though not between Blake and Justin. It featured Blake and the film's director, with Blake gesturing emphatically at the script. Lip readers and body language experts called in by media outlets speculated that the argument revolved around creative differences, not personal misconduct. Justin's team also presented detailed shooting schedules and location logs that contradicted several key points in Blake's testimony. The evidence seemed to systematically dismantle her timeline, leaving more questions than answers. And then came the biggest bombshell: a surprise witness. A former production assistant testified that Blake had privately expressed frustrations about her role in the film, but never mentioned feeling harassed or unsafe. The testimony added weight to the defense's argument that Blake's lawsuit might have been less about justice and more about leverage. As the courtroom drama unfolded, social media turned into a battleground. Fans, influencers, and even casual observers took sides, dissecting every piece of evidence and debating its implications. Initially, Blake had overwhelming public support. Her reputation as a champion for women's rights and her history of advocacy made her allegations seem credible. The hashtag #IBelieveBlake dominated Twitter, with users sharing personal stories of workplace harassment in solidarity. But as Justin's evidence mounted, the tide began to shift. Viral threads and TikTok breakdowns highlighted inconsistencies in Blake's story. One particularly damning video, viewed over 10 million times, detailed her Bahamas alibi, calling it the plot twist no one saw coming. Justice for Justin quickly gained momentum, with memes and reaction videos flooding the internet. Yet, not everyone was convinced. Some argued that the focus on gotcha moments ignored the broader issue. Even if Blake's timeline had flaws, could her underlying discomfort still be valid? Media outlets capitalized on the frenzy, with think pieces debating everything from the ethics of public trials to the power dynamics in Hollywood. It was no longer just a legal case, it had become a cultural flashpoint. As the trial continues, the stakes couldn't be higher. For Blake, the growing holes in her story threaten not just her case, but her entire career. For Justin, this is a chance to clear his name and perhaps change the way Hollywood handles these controversies.